less than 50% of Christians are registered to vote, and only half of those registered actually vote. By and large, the evangelicals have abandoned the voting booth. We could have won every election by a landslide if only we had voted. We could have continued to control our schools, and we wouldn't have had the delinquency, crime, and disrespect of God we see in our school children. Now, instead of biblical truths, our schools teach the virtue of tolerance, where everything is tolerated except God and those who follow Him. Remove the Bible from our schools. Remove prayer. Rewrite the textbooks. Remove the lessons of our founders. Exclude Jesus and Bible history. We said, go ahead, glorify Marxism and socialism, and mock God-given free enterprise, and teach only evolution. We failed to elect those who would honor God. Didn't we care about teaching the truth of His Word? We could have been in control of who would be appointed to the Supreme Court and not had the terrible anti-God decisions which have come from it. When Christians didn't vote, we gave up our right to screen immigration, and we've loaded our land with pagan religions, drugs, and terrorists. We allowed our churches and pastors to be controlled and silenced, losing our power to proclaim the truth from our pulpits. Uninvolved churches are on every corner. When we didn't vote, we said it didn't matter that chaplains in the military can't mention the name Jesus when they pray. We sat on our hands and watched TV and enjoyed the good life, which God's freedom had made possible. We allowed our nation, without opposition, to slide to the brink of disaster. The politicians we allowed to be elected confiscated far too much from our wages with high taxes, and they loaded us with enormous debt by careless spending and gave our money to evil dictators around the world. We said it was okay to disarm our nation and make ourselves vulnerable to those that want to kill us. A welfare system was put in place which encouraged single motherhood and absentee fathers. The more children out of wedlock, the more the young lady received in government aid. No-fault divorce made it easy to walk away from our marriage vows. We allowed government agencies like the EPA to steal our private property and close down businesses through control, regulations, and confiscation. We said, it's okay for unelected czars and presidential executive orders to overrule acts of our Congress. We're guilty before God for all of this because we allowed our nation to be purged of what was good when we didn't vote. So many died to preserve our freedom to choose who would govern us. The Christian world is largely responsible for the evil we see around us. We bought the lie, oh, don't talk about politics or religion. No, instead, we discussed the weather and sports. We bottled up the truths we knew and owed to others and became politically correct. November 6th, this may be our last chance. Multiply your vote by talking to people you know. Reach God-fearing Christians and Jews in your sphere of influence. Champion the vote. Here's a website that helps you register and get others involved. ChampionTheVote.com. To vote on November 6th, you've got to register before October 25th. ChampionTheVote.com website makes registration easy, and it works in any state. A handful of votes could decide this election. What part will you play? Champion the vote.